Hello, my name is Ava Johnson and I'm Marketing Director at Ultima. Today I'm joined by Dodds CEO and Matt Hudson, Director of Pre-Sales, for the first of our Copilot conversations captured on UiQ Viewpoint Video.
I think it's going to create more potential jobs than ever before. I think, if you talk about the existential risks of governments and bad actors on the global level, that's a whole different discussion. I think from a business perspective, there are risks. Clearly, there are risks of AI attacking organizations through cyber attacks and all those areas. I think AI will be fighting AI in terms of how the software is going to defend itself against other people trying to get into your data and into your systems. Microsoft have a very strong story in security, so that's a big one to dig into on the Microsoft side to really understand what they're doing to protect that data. But I see it as massive opportunity, right? I think that when we talk about the ROI, we're talking about how much time is released inside the organization. Now, that means you probably need less roles doing a specific task, but you can sure as hell have more people doing other tasks that are way more valuable to your customers going forward. And so I see it as being hugely additive to what we do, not detracting anything. And my history is long in the technology world now, unfortunately, 30-something plus years, maybe more. Every year they've predicted the demise of industries and all sorts of different roles and things. And they go away. Some of the things we were doing 30 years ago don't exist today. But there's probably 50 more things that we are doing and that software demands that there are skills and people and other things just in AI. I mean, who was a prompt engineer until about 2 years ago? No one. So, and now you've got a full-time job understanding how to ask AI questions. That wasn't a job when I grew up. It wasn't a job when you grew up either. So I think there's a massive upside to it and massive potential for this.
I pretty much totally agree with Scott. Yeah, there's no job that wouldn't be made better by having someone be able to help you out doing the things that you're not really sure how to do or you don't want to do. A lot of these things that we're automating here aren't things that we love really doing. I love playing golf. Doesn't mean that robots, in fact, we know for sure that robots aren't very good at golf. We've seen it and they're not very good at all. So I think we'll see people make use of it. Some jobs will drop away. We've seen it in the supermarket already with checkouts, with self-checkouts. AI or certainly automation has taken over there, but it hasn't completely removed that job function. It's just changed it slightly and more people are doing that helping function and helping people with their groceries. And the same we'll see with Copilot. I think where it will probably affect more people than not is for other countries where they have more workers working more repeatable tasks, more tasks that can be replaced with a robot. We saw that with intelligent automation around RPA. We saw some kind of back office, replication jobs like typing information from one database to another. A lot of that got replaced by a lot of RPA stuff. Where we can add a little bit of logic in there now and a little bit of thought, again, some of those jobs may start to reduce down again, but most businesses, particularly in the UK, are going to make better use of this and going to be much more productive. And by more productive, we become more competitive globally as well. So I think that's going to be a huge thing for us. I think Copilot is a really good front door to all other data. At the moment, Copilot talks to Microsoft Graph, that Scott spoke about, which is all of our files, all of our emails and things we've spoken about, and also speaks to the internet or via the external facing function of ChatGPT. But I think going forward, and we've already seen it with Microsoft, they're creating connectors to be able to connect to other data sources, whether it's an external data source like ServiceNow, or whether it's actually bringing data in to the Microsoft Graph. There's two different types of connectors, either one external facing or one bringing stuff in. And what we'll end up seeing is people getting access to all of their data across multiple data sources, being able to make much better decisions as to what they're doing. So right now I can get it to look at my emails and get it to look at my Word documents and PowerPoint and so forth and get it to help me compile new emails and new PowerPoints. But actually going forward, if I can get data out of ServiceNow, for example, our service tool, and say, I want to email this customer with some information about what's happened in the last 3 months. And it can go away and it will go and talk to Dynamics, grab data out of Dynamics, saying these are the transactions that have occurred in the last 3 months. This is all the data from ServiceNow. We pulled that in as well. And here's some information from another tool that we've got, which feeds information about maybe all the renewals or the I don't know, warehouse shipments that we've done in the last 3 months. And so being able to pull from multiple data sources, what we'll end up with is Copilot being that front door, user-based front door to all those bits of AI that sit across all of our product stats. And I think loads of other customers will start looking at that as well, because it's very difficult to write artificial intelligence algorithms. It's incredibly complicated and whatever, but actually being able to get Copilot, ask it a question, get it to return stuff, given that power to the user, I can go and ask it, I don't know, how many widgets did we sell last month? And it'll give me an answer, not I have to write a SQL query to go and point at our database and then bring it. I don't have that skill, sadly, anymore. To be able to do that. I'll give it a swing. But I think that power to the end person, be able to get that data, is going to be, I don't know, next year, 2 years, 3 years, it's going to be really important, really quite cool for our business.
I love that, power to the end user. That's really good.
Well, I think Satya Nadella was quoted saying that this is the age of the Copilot, or age of Copilots. And I agree with him. I think everybody's going to be having a personal assistant Copilot for whatever their roles are at some level, right? And how they use them and how much they use them is up to the role and up to the individual, but the capabilities will be massively extended. So I think it's going to be everywhere, or it should be everywhere. I think it's about how we use it, it's about how you see the benefits from it, where you're going to get the benefit and the fastest return on that investment. But when you're talking about, I don't know, £30 a month per user at the moment, I guess that'll come down over time, but right now £30 per user per month sounds like a very heavy investment. But when you think about how you can save £30 a month, not a day, a month, in terms of some of the things we're doing in marketing, some things that happen in sales, in terms of in customer engagement, services, etc., it's an absolute no-brainer, right? But you have to learn how to use it. You have to make sure that you're demonstrating what that ROI is, and actually the return on time as well, which is the bit that we talked about at the start. Making sure that the time you save is used productively inside the organization, not just for golf, Matt, but for other things inside your day job with customers. And actually, it's really for me all about customer engagement. How do we get better at responding to customers and responding to the outcomes they want? In a business like ours, it's all about customer satisfaction. And if this software and these Copilots make that better, everybody's happy.
Imminent.
Scott?
Excitement.
Excellent. I think what's really good about today is that it shows that there's an awful lot to talk about here. And what I love about listening to the two of you is the fact that you're always coming up with something new, something that you've discovered recently, something that you're willing to share about this. So we will continue this conversation, but for today, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So if you want to know more about Copilot, what it can do for your business, or you need just to understand what are the next steps you need to take, then watch out for our monthly webinars, or consider doing an assessment by filling out one of the forms on our website, www.ultima.com. Thank you very much.